Okay, take two. Juice incoming. So, Grim Dawn Bunga tips for the new and maybe old players alike. We're gonna go straight into it fast because the first video had a bad audio and we're doing it again. Tip number 1. Play blind. Your first playthrough, play it blind. Do not use any build guide or tutorial guide to tell you in which order to do the quests and so on and so forth. Play a blind playthrough because it's the best experience you can get. Tip number 2, related to tip number 1. Read all lore and read and listen to all the possible dialogues in the game. To main and side NPCs, main quest and side NPCs. You're gonna have a much better experience finding things from the lore than you're gonna find from reading it on Google. Tip number 3. Grim Dawn is a game with a lot of secrets. And I'm gonna give a small example. In fact, not here, but here. Because some people don't like spoilers. And for example, as you can see, I am walking within the confines of the map. The map has edges. I cannot go here because it doesn't let me. I cannot go here because it's an edge. But if you look in the game world and not on your radar, you might find secret places. I'm gonna stop here. As you can see, I am off map. The place I'm in is grayed out like it would be off map, not accessible terrain. These are the type of areas you're gonna find in absolutely every act of the game, and a lot of them. So be sure to check every corner of the map. It's much more fun and it's much more experience in the end. By the way, reading the lore you find doesn't only give you information, it also gives you experience. Another type of secret you might find are things in crates, barrels, and so on, and rotting corpses. But not all of them are clickable. For example, these coffins are not, but they probably never are. But if we go here, we might find a corpse which is clickable, right? And some of them are not, and they look the same. To help you with that, you need to have target outline on. That's tip number 4. It's gonna help you find even some secret areas, and it's gonna help you not miss like this corpse. This corpse might have some lore on it, a letter, so you can read it, or I don't know what. It's gonna that's up to you to find out. Moving on. Tip number 5. Hover over your attributes in the inventory and be sure when you level up you're not putting in the one that you actually don't need. For example, for this Primal Strike Druid, I do not need Cunning. I have put 0 points in Cunning. I have 50 here and 57 here. That's the full, right? 107. Because you don't need Cunning. On other builds, you might not need Spirit, and so on. Be sure you need the attribute you are speccing into at level up. Tip number 6. Max out your movement speed. It is very important. Right now I do not have a maximum, which is 135. For some weird reason is 135. Could have been 200. But having a maximum of movement speed is gonna help you a lot. It's already kind of slow, let's face it. It's 226. They should pump it up. Maybe they update it in the next patch and put some 150 at least, if not 200, which would be normal. With that said, tip number 7. Max out your resistances. You're probably not gonna be able to max them out in normal, but in Elite for sure. And in Ultimate, must. You're not gonna go over that. Your resistances are very important. And a small tip, which happens in most of the games, in Elite you're gonna have lower resistances. In Ultimate you're gonna have minus 50 by default. And also in ultimate, right now I'm in ultimate, right? You should have at least 50. At least 50 over maximum, because some few dangerous enemies have debuffs that can lower your resistance by 50. You do not want to go below 80. Even 80 is kind of low in some cases. You might need a maximum resistance like 91, 88, and so on. Secondary resistances are found on the third tab here. These stun, disrupt, life, reach, energy. The most important of them are as follows. Firstly, stun, trap, petrify, and freeze. These are the ones you want the most resist. Trap is the easiest of them because you can still use your skills. Petrify, freeze, and stun, you're petrified, right? You're stunned, you're freeze, you can't do anything. Second, you want disruption resist. I have 0 right now, but this makes you not use your skills. When someone disrupts you, you are not able to use your skills and you might die. And thirdly is life leech resist, which I have minus 25 sadly. But very few and the most dangerous ones only have this, so you might get around with an oil, right? Maybe. That might give me 5%. There are mods on items and components and so on. Speaking of components, side note, the best way to get your resistances up and the easiest way are components and augments. As you can see, I have the Ugden Bog leather component and the Driggs Fine Blood augment. These are the easiest way to get your resistances. Moving on, no. Fizz, Fizz Res is one of the most rarest mod in the game. And when you find it, it's in low amounts, like 4 or 5 or something like that. It's scarce. You are not gonna find a lot. Do not worry. It's normal. In my opinion, it's not. You should be able to go at least 50, something like that. But that's about Fizz Res. Moving on, armor absorption. As an idea, I have a very low armor, but I sustain by attacking with lifesteal. Armor absorption, you want it at 100%. Again, buy components, buy mods on items, and whatever, you want it at 100%. And you want at least 2000 armor, if not 3000. I have extremely low armor. Speaking of lifesteal, tip number 9. That was 8, armor absorption. Lifesteal. Tip number 9, attack damage converted to health. Whatever build you are playing, you need attack speed. You need attack speed. You will not survive just on your potion of healing, which is by itself a little bit lame. Too high recharge time, too low life healed. Okay, tip number 10, very important. Very important. Stop the presses, because this is one of the big ones. At the start of Act 2, right? Act 1 stops here at the Warden's Laboratory. Then you are forced to go to the left, to Staunton Mine, Arkovian Foothills Rift, or whatever. You are going to be sent this way. Before you're going this way, you turn back, because there's gonna be this green rift here, which is gonna be a person here waiting to ask you if you want to go. You're gonna say yes 100% on normal, your first playthrough. It's gonna take you to the Conclave of the Free, which means Act 6. You can go and try to kill monsters and start the Act 6, but you will not be able in normal. But what you can do here is go to the cult you're gonna choose. It's gonna send you to this person here to kill like 3 or 10 monsters. This one, yeah. It's gonna tell you to kill 3 monsters here, and you're gonna be able to choose a cult. It doesn't matter which one you choose, you just choose one and you can buy your movement skill. Movement skill. Listen to the words. Movement skill. Because we are not slugs, we are not 80 years old, it's 2026, everything happens fast in virtuality. Virtuality happens in our minds. In our minds, everything is fast, and slow things are boring and bad. Look at that. Movement skill. What was that? Okay, very important, get your movement skill. Oh, speaking of cults, which one you're gonna choose? Grim Dawn has factions. Tip number 11. It has a lot of factions, and some of them you can change which one you are going to choose based on your difficulty level. For example, I have chosen Cult of Bismiel in normal, I have chosen Cult of Solael in elite, and Cult of Drig in ultimate. By choosing them, you are able to do their quests. It is impossible to do the quests of Solael and Drig while you choose Bismiel. That's why you choose the other ones. So you can also get the achievements, do the quests and rewards. Some of them you have to enemy and friend. For example, Kaiman's Chosen and Order of Death's Vigil. You are going to do friend and enemy in one difficulty level, then enemy and friend in the other difficulty level, and whichever one you like the most you're gonna keep on ultimate. But remember, both of them have a quest in ultimate for an achievement. Just keep that in mind. There we go. Factions, and also factions, what are these levels here, you are might wondering. The more you kill mobs and do quests in the faction, you either get reputation or infamy. The more reputation you have with a faction, the more items you can buy from the shop. Level 2, revered. Level 3, honored. And max level, revered. This was respected. Keep that in mind, right? There we go. Tip number 12. Some rare items, in this case they are green, not yellow, some can be much better than legendary items. Meaning epic and so on, right? For example, this is one of the best for Primal Strike from the Ultos set. The entire set right now is not as good as my rare items in my combination that I found here. Not saying this is bad, but some rare items, look at that, minus 100k and so on damage because of this one. Some. Where do you find these rare items that might be double rare or monster in free conjust, which you want on your entire gameplay until you finish ultimate and all your quests and find your good items? Then you just keep always show double rare. These drop from specific monsters and no other place in the game. For that, I'm gonna give you a tip a little bit later. Tip number 13. Some content is available only in ultimate and not in elite and not in normal, or just in elite and ultimate and not in normal. For example, you might zoom out the max right now like I am, and you might see a zone that has a clickable, right, vase or altar, and you cannot reach it by any means. Save your time, Google it, and find if it's an ultimate only content and so on and so forth, so you don't stand around and right, waste time. Movement skills. Tip number 14. This is a very important one. Devotion points. In Grim Dawn you have two ascendancies, let's say, two right, masteries that you combine to make one class. In this case I'm a druid made out of a shaman and arcanist. But you have your devotion system, which are the big skills. You have a maximum of 55. You cannot get any more. You can find shrines, but you will not get points. But a very important information you need to know is that you can finish normal with all 55 points. All 55 points, you can have them at the start of elite. How do you do that? Evidently you do every single content in the game and return to do the ones that you could not do earlier, that you find maybe a dangerous zone, a dangerous domain. Do not forget about those. And you check every corner and sometimes even look around on the map, because some entrances to some caves are not shown on the map. They're just on the screen. And those sometimes have a shrine. The most points you will get are from devotion shrines. But there is another way to get devotion points in the game, and that is Crucible. In Crucible, you can buy devotion points. You go to the main menu, you choose Crucible, you go to Aspirant while you're in normal, right? Of course, after you have finished your campaign, because Crucible is not that easy. The first waves are, but you want to, right, to get your tribute points. And in the Crucible, by winning waves, finishing waves, you get your tribute points. And you can buy devotion points up to 50. If you have reached 50 devotion points, you cannot buy the points 51 to 55. You have to find those. But if you have 45 points and you still find shrines, have shrines, do not touch the shrines. Do not finish the shrines. Go in Crucible and buy those 5 points so you can reach 50, and then the rest of the 5 buy shrines in game in normal difficulty. You will finish normal with all 55 points by doing this. But go in Crucible just after you finish the campaign and leave. Let's say you are in a you can see. Let's say you are in a act. You're just starting Act 6, right? You do not touch any shrine here, or you don't even start and then go in Crucible, and you do the first waves. Begin 0 to 50, 0 to 50, 0 to 50, because the points have different cost. For example, points 1 to 5 cost 3 tribute points, right? Tribute here. Points 6 to 10, 5 tribute points. 11 to 25 cost 10 tribute points each. 26 to 40, 18 tribute points each. 41 to 50 costs 30 tribute points each. That's the one you want, because you're gonna find the other ones by shrines. And you don't want to waste all your time in Crucible. It's boring. Do not forget about Crucible after you finish your campaign. Tip number 16. Shattered Realms. Shattered Realms. What is this? It's very important. After you have gone into Crucible and buy as many devotion points that you can, you will enter Shattered Realms, which you can enter since the start of Act 2, because it's in the Conclave of the Free. In the Shattered Realms, at this person, you enter and you finish waves and maps and so on. It's like some rifts. But the reward, besides some items, you get huge amount of experience. Huge amount of experience. Do not forget to go into Shattered Realms, and when you feel that it starts to get a little bit hard, you finish the run, start all over again from zero. You just want the reward in experience. That's the most important. You will get tons of experience here if you just repeat the waves that you can do. That's it. Do not forget about Shattered Realms. Very important. So you can enter Elite overpowered. You will enter Elite extremely overpowered from Act 1. It's gonna start getting a little bit hard towards the end of Elite. And start of Ultimate will still be easy. Because of doing this, you have all your points, you have a lot of experience, you can start Elite at level 70 or something, if not something like that. Let's say 60, yeah. Tip number 17. Your secondary characters have benefits. For example, this is my character. I played with him, so I can do the story as I want. And now I have finished everything in the game. Meaning I can go to any shop and buy any item. Some items are usable by your level 1 new created characters, like a merit, which unlocks ultimate or elite difficulty, unlocks the attribute skill rewards from quests on lower difficulties, rift gates, your waypoints on lower difficulties, and all your inventory bags, which are just 5. And yeah, there's still room for free between the auto sort button and the first bag. they should be there. Just saying. You can buy this with your main character, put it in the transfer stash tab, and get it with your level 1 character and use it. Not just a merit. You can buy a mandate, which is gonna increase your reputation with some factions. You can buy for all the factions. And if you kill Nemesis with your main character, Nemesis unlocks with your maximum infamy in your enemy factions. When a Nemesis have the chance to drop another form of mandate or something like that. Warrant, which also increases the infamy for enemy killing. So you can reach Nemesis level faster. And you just put these, right, in your transfer stash tab, and your new character can use them. You can also buy potions from the Malmuth Resistance, which is here. You can buy a potion that is 100% more experience for 1 hour. It's here. You can buy it infinitely, right? And give it to your new character. Speaking of bonus experience, there are items in the game that give bonus experience. These are usable at level 10. This one is usable at level 1. This set is usable at level 1. Again. Well, level 20. Why is this? Because of the mark of the traveler, I think. Yeah. These are usable at level 1. The set gives you 40% experience bonus. These pants are usable at level 15. 5% experience bonus, and so on. There are items that can increase your secondary characters to have a way to do things faster, if you think you want to do that. But it's not the same experience as a blind playthrough without those items, right? Tip number 18. Do not use any content altering mods. There are mods that can add a lot of new masteries, new items, and new zones, and new monsters, and so on. That might not be good if you want to start Fangs of Asterkarn, the new expansion, with that character. Play within the confines of the game, within the limits of the game, so you are sure you can continue. Right now, this character, I'm waiting for the expansion to start and do that content only. I have done all the difficulties, every single quest I can find. I have nothing left. I cannot find any content to do. I did the secret quest and so on. Keep that in mind. Tip number 19. Use Grim Tools. Grim Tools is a site that is extremely useful. But in your first blind playthrough, the only thing you want to use here is item database. So you know where to farm your items for the class and build you are playing, so you know where they drop. For example, if we go to one-handed range and we go to rare items, this Bloodsworn Repeater, right, which gives you skills to your class, drops from the following. This is the only only way to know where items drop from. You cannot find in game, or I might be mistaken, but this is what you want on your first blind playthrough. Then when you reach Elite, you go to the world map and to the checklist if you want. Right, this is the Foggy Bank shrine, so you don't miss where the shrines are. You found it, you put OK, and so on. You just use the map, in my opinion, it's okay. You start the game from the start with the map on, so you are sure you haven't missed any lore, NPC, map zone, and secret area, and so on. For example, there's a chest here, right? A small chest, you go there and find some items. Here there's a lore, Kaiman's Scripture, first passage. Here there's another lore, dust-covered journal, and so on. When you reach Elite, this is gonna ruin your first playthrough. Do not use this on your first blind playthrough. When you reach Elite, it's best to start with the map on your secondary screen or Alt-Tab, it doesn't matter, to be sure you're getting everything on the way. Do not miss anything. And speaking of mods, I'm going to show you some mods. This is the last tip, tip 20, that I find is gonna make your playthrough much better. Much better, even on your first blind playthrough. One, very, very, very important. You cannot play the game with a red portal. You need a blue portal. You need a blue portal, which changes the icon also on the map. Secondary, you need a larger cursor. Larger cursors for all the resolutions, monitor resolutions, right? The in-game one is a little too small, and you miss it between monsters and so on. Another very, very good mod is Grim Text, which doubles, quadruples, or octuples the texture within the game. You will not download the 800% ones. They look ugly, they look jittery. Those are for extremely high, large monitors and so on. You will download the 400% ones, except the terrain. Do not, 400% terrain is ugly. You will get level art items and creatures, 400%. And you will download the 200% one, which also contains the terrain. You will get the terrain from the double, because terrain in 400% looks ugly, but in 200% it looks very good. And one of the mods you're gonna be using after you reach a light and finish your game is gonna be Grim Dawn Stash. This is a cheat hack engine editing character program third party app, just so you know. Do not use this in your first playthrough, except for only one thing, which I truly advise you to do it. You are going to edit it and add iron, gold, right? Currency, iron. Where is it? Here I got 30, doesn't say anything. So you can unlock your stash tabs. The game is gonna throw a lot of items at you. You start with just one stash tab, and that's it. You have 6 personal stash tabs and 6 shared stash tabs, which are all locked at the start. You want to add like 1 or 2 million iron, so you can unlock your stash tabs. You are going to thank existence you did it. Even on your first playthrough, you need this. It's very important. And with that said, those are the 20 Bunga tips with good audio sound this time. And I'm gonna have one extra tip again on the mod sites. I have uploaded my game save with the Primal Strike Druid on the site. This one has everything done and is just waiting for Fangs of Asterkar. If you are a person that already knows the game and played it and just want to experience the new expansion, you can download the save game file, and of course using Grim Dawn Stash you can change your masteries and make whatever build you want just for the fun of it. This is for the people who don't want to play again and just want to play the new expansion. And with that said, juice incoming! Zap!